John of Woking, go ahead.
Nick, I'm... Sorry, there are two Nicks, aren't there? Nick Clegg.
Yes.
I am a Liberal Democrat who's just torn up his membership card. I joined the party first in 1973, and I'm afraid I cannot now say that I want to represent the Lib Dems. I'm an ex-county councillor in Surrey, and I'm ashamed of what the party's doing. I'm just wondering, Nick, have you got your membership card with you?
Not on me right now, no.
You remember what it says on it?
Yes.
Shall I read it out? The Liberal Democrats exist to build and safeguard a fair, free and open society in which we seek to balance the fundamental values of liberty, equality and community, and in which no one shall be enslaved by poverty, ignorance or conformity. So can you tell me how you reconcile that with this government's attacks on the poorest in society, including the unemployed, the working poor and the disabled?
Well, let me try. I'm sorry to hear, obviously, John, that you've
Perhaps you can win him back, Deputy Prime Minister.
Look, let me say this, John. You say you're ashamed. I'm actually immensely proud that facing one of the biggest economic crises that this country has seen in a generation, possibly in the post-war period, the Liberal Democrats took a big, collective and brave decision at some political cost to say, right, we're going to step up to the plate, we're going to work in a coalition because no one won the general election, and we're going to try and fix this mess, and we're going to try and fix this mess while also trying to make society fairer. How have we done that?
You sold out.
Well, wait a minute. John fought on the last election, as did I, with a promise on the front page of our manifesto to raise the point at which people start paying income tax to £10,000. That is the biggest change in the income tax system in this country in a generation. We are well on the way to doing that. As of this coming April, we'll be taking over 2 million people on low pay out of paying any income tax, and a couple earner, two earners on the basic rate of tax will be £1,200 better off.
Cost,
hang on, that wasn't the question. John's question wasn't about the cost. Nick, his question was about, are we doing the right thing?
Political cost.
The pupil premium, again, on the front page of our manifesto, John, as you'll remember, that we are delivering £2.5 billion of extra money targeted directly, for the first time, at those children on free school meals from the most disadvantaged families who need more support in school. For the first time ever, as of this April, because of something that I personally pushed through government, thousands of 2-year-olds, for the first time ever, will get 15 hours of free preschool support and childcare in a way that has never happened in this country before. Those are just three compelling examples. I'll give you another example, John.
One more if you would, then I must go back to John. I hear you.
Because I think what John wants is, he doesn't want cliches and he doesn't want sort of, slogans. What he wants is, what have we actually done? We are delivering more apprenticeships. We're more apprenticeships in this country than has happened in a generation. Now, all I would ask you to do, John, is not in any way try and paper over the difficult decisions we have to take, and I'm very happy to address those, but at least to grant us the credit for doing these very big, good things, which I think will stand the test
John,
of
the
time.
Deputy Prime Minister, the leader of your party, has outlined 4 initiatives, or 4 acts, he says, that does support that credit card, that card membership you just read.
Yeah, I mean, it's all very well saying all of that. Let me take them one by one.
With respect, John, and I have to appear a little bit as an independent here, they are actually true as well. He has delivered on those, John.
He has delivered on them,
right.
But if I can take them one at a time, I'll tell you why I'm not happy.
Okay.
For example, on the tax threshold, that's great giving everybody a reduction in tax. Unfortunately, all the benefit cuts have taken away double what working poor are getting back in tax reduction.
That is simply not true. Someone on the minimum... No, it's simply not true.
John, you must let... I will come back, John. You must let the Deputy Prime Minister just rebut if he chooses.
John, it's simply not true. Of course, it first partly depends on which benefits you've received. But secondly, someone on the minimum wage, as of this April, will have had their income tax rate halved by this government because of what Liberal Democrats have done in it. And on the welfare issue, since you quite rightly highlight that's something which has been in the news a lot. Look, I took no relish in saying that people who receive benefits and tax credits will not have those increased by more than 1% over the next 3 years. But equally, we've already said to teachers and nurses and doctors and social workers and other people in the public sector, look, we're very sorry, there isn't any money because Labour left the cupboard bare. You're going to not have any increase in the first year, 0%, followed by a 1% increase in public sector pay. So we were simply taking that same approach, which, by the way, was supported by Labour, and applying it to benefits during this exceptional period over the next 3 years. A difficult decision, but one that I think most people think is reasonable in the circumstances.
Last comment for you, John. Go ahead, sir. Back to you.
Oh, I'm not talking about the 1%. I'm talking about all the other benefit cuts, such as housing benefit and the disability living allowance and all those other things that are being cut. And according to the Institute of Fiscal Studies, the bottom 30% of the population are going to lose over 4% of their income.
All right. I sense we could trade straight
Can I just say one final thing?
Briefly, if you would, Mr. Clegg.
I mean, you mentioned housing benefit, John, and I think, with respect, John, it's important to be specific on these things and not just throw around allegations. You're right. We've introduced something which is pretty controversial, not least, by the way, here in London, which is a housing benefit cap. So you can't receive more than £500 a week in housing benefit. £500 is the equivalent per week to £35,000 pre-tax. So you're saying to people who are receiving housing benefit, we're going to give you housing benefit, but not more than if you were earning £35,000 before tax. Right. I think many, many people working hard, trying to make ends meet, would accept that that is a fair way of trying to treat the whole system. Just
lastly, John, if you do go ahead and lead the Liberal Democrat Party, which party would you support?
I'm afraid I can't support any party at the moment. They're doing exactly the same thing.
All right. OK. I will thank you for that. More calls coming up right after this.
LBC 97.3.